today I want to, what do I want to do today? I think today I just want to try and make some decorations for Halloween. So let's use up some scrap wood, make some decorations. Maybe my wife will like them, maybe she won't. There's only one way to find out, and that's to do it. And then find out that she doesn't like it. But we'll see. All right, so let's start off with the scrap wood. So here's some of the scrap wood. And I think I'm going to use this because I'm going to paint it, and so I'm not that worried that it doesn't look that pretty. All right. So let's see. I'm actually going to use something else too. Let's see. And that should work. So here we go. And just throw this over here for now on the workbench. And I'm going to set you right over here. And let you see my messy floor. I'm going to set up the planer over there with dust collection. So get the vacuum hose out of the way and get the dust collector over here. There we go. Plug in the old dust collector. And get out the planer. Go. And mute this. Hi, Rami. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Billy. Thanks for being here. I am in Idaho in the great United States. If you want to tell us in the chat where you're watching from, that'd be great. All right, I need the hose to connect the planer to the dust collector. Go. And connected. One of these days I'm going to build a cart to hold the planer and the dust collector and probably the jointer too, but I still haven't done that. So, all right. And get some eye protection and some ear protection. Oh, wow. Let's see. Orami watching from Tennessee. Really? Hey, Heather, thanks for joining us. Sophia watching from Wales. I've been to Wales once. Let's see. We got rain today, Billy. I don't know if Heather did, but we did. Hey, Mike, good to see you. Let's see. Guess what I'm doing? Are you editing, Mike? Let's see. Editing a video. Hey, what do you know? I guess you didn't want us to watch you edit. That's okay. It's caught a little bit of Mike's. Mike is making stuff when he was live a little bit earlier today. So anyway, all right, let's get this Need to raise it up a bit so that there's room for this to go through. There we go. And we'll turn on the dust collector and the planer, and then we'll see what we can do. All right, so not the greatest, but wasn't really intending to make this the best. You see a little bit of issue there. I think I think I need to adjust some things on the planer so that I'm getting a little bit smoother transition. And plus, I was probably trying to take off a little too much at a time. But it seems like over on this side, it bites in a little bit more than on this side. So not sure why that is, but probably need to do some adjustments on that. All right, so I think that's probably it for the planer. So I'll unplug those, put them away. Anyone have any ideas on what I might need to fix on the on the planer to make it a little bit cleaner and smoother. Oh, looks like somebody's trying to call through here. And what am I making? I'm just trying to do some Halloween decorations. I was a little inspired by Mike's coffin that he did earlier today. So I was thinking, hadn't really even thought about making any Halloween decorations. So I just thought of this little kind of ghost scene that I was thinking to make. So I don't know how well it'll turn out, but figured I'd at least give it a shot. There we go. That's good enough. All right. So let's bring you over here. And can't really see what I'm doing here, but let's see if that guys give you a decent view of what's happening on the workpiece. I'm going to take off my eye and ear protection for the moment. Let's see. All right. So Billy got rain. Oh, I think I might have accidentally moderated somebody just now. All right. Okay. All right. Output table. Yeah. Output table. Input table. Yep. Stick a long board through the whole planer. Melamine that slides. Yeah, I've seen something along those lines. So I might try something like that. Let me get something round here. How about a can of lacquer? And I'll try to avoid some of these. Yeah. Good thing I'm not really depending on this being anything. I didn't try actually jointing it or anything. I just ran it through the planer on both sides to clean up the surfaces. So let me start right there. And that pencil is not the greatest. And that. And okay, so throw that to the side. And then get out some rulers here. Again, this is obviously not an exact science at all. Not really worried about these matching or being anything in particular, really. In fact, I think a little bit of variation might be endearing. All right. And maybe not that much variation. All right. So next, I think I'll just do, I think I'll clamp this down to the workbench. Like so. Actually, I'll upside down like that. Like so. And like so. I'm on live. What's up? Not yet. Oh, maybe an hour. All right. And all right, put on some eye protection again here. And get out the Forstner bits. And I'm just going to drill out the eyes a little bit. That should work. Let's see. We got Plywood and Kevin and Billy and Mike, Heather, and wait, thanks for joining us today, everybody. I don't know if you can see me over here. All right. And just vacuum up the waste there. Even though I haven't been particularly clean as of late. I was using an angle grinder recently to sand off the bottom side of one of my benches that I've talked about before, and kind of left that mess for quite some time. But no big deal, right? All right, so let me get you set up right here. I haven't really even cleaned up that mess all the way because why would I, right? Let's give you an angle up here so you can really see what's happening on the old bandsaw. And there we go. And I think I'm going to move the fence out of the way entirely here. I got it tall enough that it's a little difficult to get it out without being methodical there. All right, got it. And hey, Old Path, thanks for joining us, man. All right. So let me connect the dust collection here and the power. I usually forget to plug in the bandsaw. So I'm always like, oh, yeah, our next step is turning everything on. And then I try to turn it on and it doesn't turn on. So surprisingly, I remembered today to plug it in before I try turning it on. It does seem to work better when I plug it in first. Shocking, I know. All right. And turn on the shop vac, and then we'll turn on the bandsaw. All right, so we have our ghosts. Let's see. Looks spooky already. Yeah, like the ghost from Pac-Man. Yeah, kind of. That's Pac-Man's probably my closest inspiration there. Um, it is spooky, yeah. All right. So here's what we've got so far. And I like the pine smell, but what do you think? Should I route the edges? I'm thinking I will. Well, except probably not, because I won't really be able to route these guys very easily because of how tight those corners are. So I think I will not do roundovers on the edges. Most of my projects are based on my capacity. Sorry, my limited capacity. All right. And they're tall ghosts. Yeah, I suppose. I could cut some of them off if you want. They don't have to be tall. All right. I think for the next step, I want to sand, but let's see. Sorry for blocking the camera view there. I want to sand, but I don't want to handle the sander, the random orbital sander. So I think I'll get out the belt sander and then probably sand these with the orbital sander as best I can, and then just do the rest by hand. So, woohoo! We get to get out the belt sander. Only the second time I will have used it. And then I'm thinking just to mount these on here. And I might have a little bit of variation there. But I was also thinking I want to have a little bit more dimensionality to it. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing here, can you? Actually, let me drop this down. Go. All right, so I think that should give you a decent view. All right, so I was thinking to just mount the ghosts onto this plywood. So I was thinking to paint the plywood black, paint the ghosts white, and just kind of arrange them haphazardly, sort of. But I think I want a little bit more dimensionality. So I was thinking to put little blocks of wood underneath that wouldn't be very visible, that would also get painted black. So then these ghosts are kind of have the illusion of floating a little bit more. So what do you guys think about that? Let's see. And tall ghost, great. Haven't you seen Casper? I don't see ghosts, Kevin. So yeah, I guess I haven't seen Casper. He's howdy. Hey, Delicid Timbers. Good to see you from all the way from down under. Thanks for joining us today. Just making a little Halloween decoration here. So let me get out the belt sander and see if we can't clean up these sides and edges. I've only used this belt sander once before, and I was actually pretty impressed with the dust collection on it. I wasn't really expecting for the dust collection to work at all. And so when it didn't really leave much sawdust behind, I was pretty impressed. So I'm going to throw off that all off to the side. And try to get the belt sander in place here. I should probably switch to a less aggressive grit, because I think that's like a 60. So let me, let's see, that is, what size is that? That 1/2 inch? Nope, smaller. Okay. Yeah, that's a 60 grit. And let's see, where did I put the belt? Sanding belt. All right, I'm going to start with something not as aggressive. Hopefully I don't have to go down to the 60. So let's see, I've got some 80, I've got some 120. Let's see if I can just skip all the way to 120 on this. If the 120 will work well enough, I would be very happy with that. Probably won't, but give it a try. Okay, here we go. Hey, Raja in the house. Thanks for joining us, Raja. And all right, plug this guy in. And let's connect our dust collection over here. Get our ghosts ready over here. And just they are different sizes, just so you can be clear. They're not all the same height. All right. And let me put on some eye and ear protection again. And turn on the vacuum and turn on the sound. I'm going to put this guy back on. Before I get too crazy here. Well, okay. Do I have enough clearance there? Yeah, I guess so. So, note to self, the belt sander doesn't like it when I'm going to trying to do too much rounding here. So when I got to right around there, it's like, nope, don't want to do that anymore. Started catching and I was like, okay, so guess I need to know the limits of my belt sander. So, all right. And let's see. Oh, Billy, my wife's doing pretty well. She's went to church with us today and helped me teach the 9 and 10-year-old Sunday school class. actually, she did most of the teaching. I didn't really say much at all, really. And let's see, 120 grit will be fine. Yep. Yeah, it worked out pretty well. 120. You can see that worked just fine, other than right there. And ooh, we've got a bee. I've got the window or the door open today, which I don't usually do, but I thought, hey, why not? It's nice out there. Hopefully you don't hear too much of the traffic and everything else. Let's see. Pop the fence back. It will make your life easier. Are you talking about this fence or something else? And it will if you use the fence. Oh, okay. Yeah. So if I had brought it over here, I could have used the fence better. Yeah. I was actually thinking, oh, I better put the fence on, and then I can use it for support. Except I wasn't thinking I better put the fence on because I didn't realize that this was called a fence. So, yeah, that does make sense that I could have done that. In fact, I think I will. Put my ear protection back on. Still got my eye protection on. I think it's probably best not to drop them while you're trying to sand. But yeah, whatever. Okay, so I think that's it for the belt sander. I'll disconnect the dust collection and see if that's too hot to handle, too cold to hold. I don't want a copyright strike, so I'll stop using the lyrics from the song. All right. So let me see if I just use how long will it take me to do if I just do these by hand instead of getting out the random orbital sander. Guess I could have gotten that outside on the belt sander. But oh well. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Should still be trying to scare people, right? This Halloween decoration. And for those who might be curious, I'm at 120, what I used on the belt sander as well. And I'm not planning to go any higher grip than 120. This is, like I said, I'm just going to paint it. So not really anticipating that there's going to be a lot of people that are really wanting it to be super fine. In fact, I prefer they don't touch it. All right. It's mostly okay. Just try to get in those corners a little bit, in those dark recesses. I'm trying to be more patient and not get too flustered with sanding. But often I just want to move on to the next step and get the project done. If I had been thinking, I would have just made them all more like this, so I had fewer surfaces to sand and easier to get to, but that should work. All right, let me check in on chat, see how you're all doing in there. You got any questions for me? Oh, hey, Schmoke. Thanks for joining us, man. Oh, and shoot, we got William in here, and Heidi. Thanks for being here. And yeah, everyone sub for Dale at Doba Seed Timbers. I'm probably saying that wrong, but let's see. Hello. Oh, the Shoops are going live at 9:30 Central Time. So we've got less than 3 hours. And hopefully we can be done by then. And Pac-Man around or just the ghost again? Yeah, just the ghost today. Maybe I'll modify the design to add a Pac-Man at some point, but here's the idea, Schmoke. I'm just going to mount the ghosts on here, and I was thinking to just kind of a haphazard design, and I want to raise them up so they kind of give the appearance of floating. And so I'm just going to find some little pieces of wood that I can mount these ghosts to. And then I'm going to paint the ghosts white, the background black. And but I'm thinking I should probably round off the edges on this plywood. What do you guys think? Give it a little bit more rounded look, kind of like our ghosts, or not so rounded, like the bottom of the ghosts. But I've got this out already. I think I'll, and then this is just salvaged plywood from an old shipping container. So there's some kind of adhesive or something I'll just have on the back and not even worry about it. All right, so let me just mark off corners. Forgot that this is the pencil that on one side it's don't really have much graphite available. All right, so let's throw this back on the bandsaw. Well, I guess not back on the bandsaw because I didn't put the plywood on the bandsaw eventually earlier. Just the ghosts. So you all look at the bandsaw activity here. All right. And yeah, things are going pretty well so far, Schmoke. Thanks for being here. LEDs, and you could light them. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. I don't think I have any battery-powered LEDs, so I'm probably not going to worry about that today, but might be something I look into for a future upgrade or for future projects. All right, let's cut these off. I've been told that the bandsaw tends to work better when it's been plugged in. Dale's got to go do some work Monday morning already. Whew. The weekend ends so soon, doesn't it? So quickly. And I'll just try to sand those by hand without having to get out the belt sander again. It might look good for me to actually no. Well, yeah. I think it might look good to do a round over on the router with this. Maybe I will. What do you guys think? Should I round over this backing board? Or will it matter? Give it a profile or no profile? Just leave it as is. I'm shaking you there a little bit. Just trying to rest the board on the router table. That's also got the camera stand on it. So should I do a poll, or do you want to just tell me in the chat whether I should do a round over on it or not? I'm not worried about the plies showing, because again, I'm just going to paint over it. So that was my initial thought when I was like, oh no, I don't want to do a round over because it's plywood. But maybe a round over wouldn't work that well on plywood. I don't know. I haven't really tried doing it that much. So what do you guys think? Is it a bad idea? Good idea? And all right. I'm in your future. Funny. Plywood already did. Smoke hears the voices of ghosty spirits and the bandsaw sounds. They're spooky songs, yeah. Lots of there. Missed lots of SCHs, Heather. Very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. All right. At least for the spirit. Next time, no sharp edges. Yeah, sharp edges could be dangerous. I should leave the sharp edges. More fun that way. All right. So let's do it. Let's do it. Unless I've heard something sharp is spookier. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. Okay. So my next step is going to be my little pieces of wood to pop it out. Add fake blood. Not too late for some real blood. So, you never know. We could get the real thing in here. Why bother with fake, right? All right, let me bring you back over to the workbench. And collapse you down here and down there. And over there. All right, so if we've got these guys, I kind of want some of them, all of them, kind of coming off the edges a little bit. And then I can just use some of this stuff and some of my waste from before, and that should work. So I'll just cut off a couple inches for each of them, and that should be plenty, right? So I'll just do that real quick on the bandsaw. I won't even worry about the dust collection. And there we go. All right, so now it looks something like that. What do you guys think? I'm not sure how to arrange these to maximum spookiness, but anyway. I think I'll have these guys both angling kind of that way, and then these ones more angling that way. Something like that. All right. So I'm just going to glue these guys down. And of course I need to unplug my glue. Actually, I don't think I'm going to need that. And of course I'm dripping glue. Why wouldn't I? All right. And not too worried about the mess that is making, because again, they will be not too visible. And let me think. Let's see. Well, arches, yeah, kind of. And yeah, fake is in quotes. Awesome. I'm grateful for. I love the layout. Ghost posts, ghost depth, and I've not been rounded over. Next time, plywood. We'll round you over next time. Don't worry. Glue accuracy. Yeah, it's close enough. Rolling credits is hard. Here we go. Traditional black background. Yeah, that's the plan. If I've got black, I'm not sure that I've got black, but if I do, I'll just go black. And okay, I'm just thinking right now about whether I want to try throwing a brad nail in there. If I've got enough depth to do a brad nail. Let's see what length of brad nail I've got in the gun right now. And that should be okay. And all right. And hopefully that isn't particularly loud for you guys. It's supposed to be an ultra quiet air compressor. So hopefully it's not too terrible. And you remind myself of how much power I need on this. Maximum PSI of 120. All right, that should work. All right, and hey, it didn't go through on any of them. First time for everything, right? Actually, I got more brad nails in there. I think thought I might be running pretty low, so I was only going to do a single brad nail for each, even though it could pivot on that nail. But knowing that, oh, cracked that one. Oh well. And turn off the compressor and connect the gun and empty the tank. And go. All right. So now I'm going to paint. Actually, I think I'm going to prime everything first. So let me get out some primer. And actually, let me get out some plastic. So that I'm not painting on surfaces that I care about. All right. I'm going to use the router table as my work surface here. So I'll move you over to the table saw. And give you a little bit more height. And something like that. And let me find the primer. And let's see, where is the primer? Primer. I'm pretty sure it's going to need primer for this before before the paint. Doubt that the paint is going to hold very well to let me cord away so I'm not tripping on it. All right, and get out some painting stands here. If that'll, nope. And if I have a third one, can I get them? No, that's not going to work. Darn it. But should work for these guys. All right, should work for him. The ghosts appear to be too small for these stands to work. Sad. But I can probably prop them like that. There we go. All right. So and are we playing for hiding the primer when we're in Perlato shop? It's not hidden. It's not hidden. It's right here where it's supposed to be. Now I just need to figure out what I want to use to mix it up. Usually I just use some old scrap. And here's some old scrap that I can use. This primer has been around for a while. Let's see if I can actually open the thing. Jeez. There we go. You know, as I'm splashing this primer around, as I'm mixing it, I'm thinking maybe I should have put my gloves on before mixing. But what fun would that be? I'm not sure how well this primer is going to work because I've got this glob of primer as I'm trying to mix it. Hey, Keith. Thanks for being here, two dudes. Props on the props. Editing kids. Let's see. And in hoping for spray paint. Actually, I might do spray paint actually for the black, especially if this primer isn't going to work very well. Because let me just start the primer on one of the ghosts. Because I know I've got some black paint, some black spray paint with primer. So I might just do that on the base, but looks like I got a lot of primer on here. Seems like the primer should work. If I can get the ghost to stay in place. And I'm splashing stuff all over the place here. Yeah, I can go in just a little bit, sweetheart. Just finishing up putting the primer on, and then I can go. So I'll be ending the live here pretty soon, as soon as I got the primer on, and then I can let that dry. and then finish the project another time. Hopefully later tonight after this. Shouldn't take too long for the primer to dry. I think it's only supposed to be like half an hour or so. So if that comes to fruition, then I could be back on tonight a little bit later. But we'll see. Let's see. I don't remember if I got bottom of that first ghost very well. And there we go. Just spread that primer around really well. Get some good coating on everything. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have put the primer on the top of this guy because I want to have good glue surface when I go to connect the ghosts to the top. So does glue adhere pretty well to primed surfaces? I'm not sure. Probably a lot better if I didn't have it primed. So maybe I'll sand off the primed surface once that's dried. And get the edges here. If I were really trying to make this look good, I probably would have done some filler of some kind on the plywood edges. Before the primer. I'm not really trying to make it look good. Just seeing how it works, if it works. And then try to leave kind of a thin layer so that it will dry quickly. All right. I think that's it. So we'll let the primer dry. And then after the primer, oh, I didn't readjust this, did I? I'm not. Hopefully, you guys saw what I did. But after the primer dries, I think I'll sand off the top of those guys, and then probably put a little bit of tape or something on them. Spray paint it black. Paint those guys white, and then once the white dries on these guys, then I want to paint the eyes black on the ghosts. But if I'm doing spray paint, that might not work as well. So let me see what else I've got for the eyes on those guys. So hopefully that turns into something good. All right, let me see what you guys have said in chat, if anything. Let's see. Oh, Heather's already got an answer for me. When they're dried, if you want to make the eyes black, a Sharpie will do just fine. Sweet. And let's see. Yeah, also everything on wheels guy. Yep, absolutely. Shy kick. Yep. Had to sand it out. These hours now. Got a fan. You put them on. Yeah, I might have a fan somewhere that I could put on, but I'm not going to worry about it. And because I need to go take care of something first anyway. And all right. Yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. Appreciate it. And I will check out for now. And pelado. See you next time. My name over there. See ya.